Welcome to Vet Review. In this video, I am going to differentiate between the tibia and fibula of horse, dog and pig. So let us start with the tibia of horse. As you can see, the tibia of horse is a massive bone, and the first feature of the tibia of horse that you can see is the anterior tuberosity is grooved. So this is the anterior tuberosity, and you can see it is grooved for the attachment of medial patellar ligament. So here I have a model of tibia of ox, and you can see that the anterior tuberosity or the tibial tuberosity is a raised structure here, and it is not grooved. But in case of horse, the tibial tuberosity is grooved anteriorly. Okay, this is the first feature. So tibial tuberosity is grooved. It is a very important point which is often asked in the examinations. Now the second point is that the grooves here, I hope you can see, the grooves at the distal end are oblique in case of tibia of horse. Grooves at distal end are oblique. Okay, now the third feature is that both malleolus in case of horse are fused at the distal end. So again, I'm going to use the tibia of ox, and you can see here the medial malleolus is fused with the medial border of the distal end of tibia. Okay, while the lateral malleolus articulates with a facet here at the lateral border of the distal end. But in case of horse, you can see that the medial malleolus and lateral malleolus both are fused at the distal end. Okay, so both malleolus are fused at the distal end. Okay, now before going to the fibula, one point I think I missed in my video on tibia of ox is the intercondyloid fossa in the tibia. Okay, so I hope you can see here the structure that I'm pointing at. This depressed structure is called the intercondyloid fossa. Okay, so we have one placed anterior to the spine and one posterior to the spine. And what do? They provide attachment for the cranial cruciate ligament and the menisci of the stifle joint. Okay, so this thing I skipped in that video, and it is present in all these bones. Okay, now let us come to the fibula of a horse. So unlike cattle, the fibula of a horse is not that ill-developed. It is somewhat ill-developed. It is a very slender bone, but it is there. Of course, unlike ox, the fibula is not just a pointed projection. Okay, in ox it is just a triangular prismatic projection, but in horse it is a complete bone, and it extends distally to 2/3 length of the shaft of tibia. Okay, so you can see this is the fibula. This is the fibula, and it extends up to 2/3 of the shaft of tibia. And remember one thing, that fibula is present at the lateral aspect of the tibia, and I hope you've been paying attention here that I've written something. What is it? Right tibia anterior view in dog and pig as well. So all three of these bones are of the right side, and the view is anterior view. This is the medial aspect, and this is the lateral aspect. I've shown it here. Okay, so fibula is present at the lateral aspect of tibia in all the species. Okay, and in case of horse, it extends distally 2/3 of the shaft of tibia. Now The second point about the fibula of horse is that the head is very large and it is flattened transversely. Okay, so this is the fifth point. Head of fibula is large and flattened transversely. Okay, so this is the head of the fibula, and you can see relative to the rest of the bone, okay, relative to the rest of the fibula, the head is very large. Okay, and it articulates with the lateral condyle of tibia. And one more thing, that there is a projection here. Okay, at the articulation of fibula and tibia, there's a projection on the lateral condyle placed medially. Okay, it is also there. So this is it for the tibia and fibula of horse. Now let us come to the tibia of dog. Okay, one thing that you can see immediately is that the shape of the tibia is like an S. Okay, so the proximal part of the shaft is convex medially, while the distal part of the shaft of tibia is convex laterally. Okay, so you can see it is convex medially and this is convex laterally. Okay, so it gives a S-like shape or S-like curve to the shaft of tibia. Okay, now the second point is the crest is very short in length as compared to other animals, but it is very prominent. Okay, so this is the crest of tibia. Let me show you in case of ox. So this thing that I have colored orange, this is the crest of tibia. And see how long it is. In case of ox, it is very long. Even in case of horse, it extends all the way from there, this place to this much is the tibial crest. But in case of dog, it is relatively short, but it is very much prominent. It is raised a lot. Let me write that point. Crest is short but prominent. Now the third thing is that tibial tuberosity bears a distinct mark where the ligamentum patellae is attached. Okay, so this is the tibial tuberosity and it presents a very rough area, special area which is very distinct, and it is for the attachment of the ligaments, okay, the patellar ligaments of the stifle joint. Now the fourth point, it is also very important, is that there are small sesamoid bones in the tendon of origin of popliteus muscle. Okay, so sesamoid bones in tendon of origin of popliteus. Okay, which is in contact with the lateral condyle. At lateral condyle. Okay, so at the lateral condyle you will see there are sesamoid bones in the tendon of origin of popliteus muscle in case of dog. Okay, now let us come to the fibula. The fibula of dog has a very flat proximal end that articulates with the lateral condyle just like every other species. So what is the unique thing? That it is flat. Okay, proximal end is flat. So proximal end of fibula is flat and the distal end is very prominent. It is very thick and it forms the lateral malleolus. Distal end forms the lateral malleolus, or I can say it is fused with lateral malleolus, and the distal end has two tubercles laterally. Okay, so this is the fibula of dog and this is the lateral malleolus. Okay, so lateral malleolus is fused with the fibula and the distal end laterally bears two tubercles. Okay, so this is it for the tibia and fibula of dog. Now let us come to the tibia of pig. Okay, so similar to horse, the tibia of pig is also grooved. Okay, sorry, not the tibia, the tibial tuberosity. Tibial tuberosity is grooved. Okay, now the second point is that the proximal part of the crest of tibia is very prominent and it curves outward. So the proximal part of the crest curves outward. Proximal part of crest curves outward. Okay, the third point is the sulcus muscularis is narrow as compared to other species. Okay, sulcus muscularis is narrower. Now let us come to the fibula of pig. The fibula of pig has a flattened shaft. Okay, so you can see this is one side and this is the other side. Okay, so the lateral and medial sides both are very flat. Okay, so fibula is flattened side to side. The next point is the distal end fuses with the lateral malleolus just like in case of dog. Okay, so distal end of fibula fuses with lateral malleolus just like the dog. So this is it for the tibia and fibula of pig, and I hope you like this video. If so, then hit the like button, leave a comment down below, share this video with your friend, and if you haven't, then subscribe to my channel. Thank you.